Hey everyone, Brian here with Guitars, Whiskey, and Golf. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you'll think about subscribing to the channel. I really appreciate it. So what's on the docket today? We've got Origin by Dragon's Milk. And the distillery is New Holland out of Michigan. So if you're not familiar with New Holland, and before I got this bottle, I was not familiar with them. So New Holland is apparently the oldest distillery in Michigan. They're well known for their beers. Especially, they make a bourbon barrel aged stout, which sounds amazing. So I'm going to have to try to find that. And this, which they call Origin, is a high malt bourbon. So the secondary grain in the mash bill is not rye. It's malted barley. It's 95% proof, and it's been aged for 5 years. So we've got a good age point. 5 years, I think, is really entering that point of where you can get a lot of beautiful characteristics out of a bourbon. So let's get into this. So I've had time to have a couple of sips of this Origin. I always like to experience a bourbon 2 or 3 times before I do a review on it, because one, I like to let the bourbon open up a little bit. And number 2, you kind of want to gather your thoughts. You just don't want to make a snap decision on something. The nose is fantastic. Okay, it's packed with bright fruits. So think peach, almost like peach pie filling, because there's a lot of sweetness on the nose. Then you get all this bright, ripe fruit. A touch of spice, but not heavy on the spice. I'm personally not getting a lot of oak on this. I'm getting just all sorts of bright fruit, almost like a fruit compote, or like I said, like a peach pie filling. That along with some spice, touch of brown sugar. And there's also that absolute characteristic aroma of maltiness. So if you're familiar with scotches are generally 100% malted barley. Sometimes they're blends of malted and non-malted barley. But let's just say in general, scotches are 100% malted barley. And to me, the nose vaguely, not intensely, but just vaguely has a bit of that scotchy, malty aroma in a beautiful way. I absolutely love the nose on it. It's light, it's bright, it's very sweet, very inviting nose. Everything on the nose translates directly to the palate. It is light and bright. It's 95 proof, which I think is a great proof point personally. I do love bourbons, up into that 110, 120, even higher proof point. But, not, do I always want to drink that? No. Sometimes something a little lighter, a little brighter is absolutely really super enjoyable and welcoming. And that's what I'm getting on this Origin. Little spicy. I get a little bit of oak on the palate, which I'm not getting on the nose. The legs on it, the viscosity. So one thing that is absolutely amazing about this bourbon is, when I look at the legs on the glass and the mouthfeel, it's oily. This is got a viscous, oily mouthfeel to it, which you don't expect at 95 proof, but it's there. Again, the maltiness comes through. It's got that vaguely Scotch-like characteristic. This is a beautiful bourbon. I'm so excited to have gotten this. So an old high school buddy of mine, Jeff Demeter, helped me procure this bottle, and actually turned me onto it, because I had no idea. I'd never heard of New Holland Distillery. I was not familiar with Origin from Dragon's Milk at all. So he turned me onto it and helped me procure a bottle of it. So cheers to Jeff. Thank you, buddy. This retails around $50. The distribution is wonky, so it's not in every state. But, go online to your whatever distributor, retail, online spirits distributor that you trust. Go online and see if you can start finding it. This is worth the hunt. Even if you can't find it in your area, you may be able to purchase it online. I think Sealbox actually has a cask strength single barrel version of this, which I may have to track down, but we'll see. Because this is fantastic, and I am so glad that I've gotten a bottle of this. Yeah, so with that, I will leave you with Origin by Dragon's Milk out of New Holland Distillery in Michigan. This is a hit at $50. This is a great bourbon if you can find it, and I highly recommend that you do spend some time maybe trying to chase it, if nothing else, online. So with that, I'll leave you with cheers. Happy Sunday, everyone. Take care. Bye.